She's got to be somebody's babe, 'cause she's so fine. She's probably somebody's only light, gonna shine tonight. Yeah, she's probably somebody's baby, alright. I heard her talking with her friend when she thought nobody else was.
What's up, everybody? Today's movie review, we're going to be taking a look at the 1982 coming-of-age comedy drama, Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Like I said, this movie came out in 1982. It stars Jennifer Jason Leigh as Stacy, Judge Hamilton as Brad, Robert Romanus as Mike, I think that's how you pronounce his last name, Brian Backer as Mark, or he also goes by the nickname Rat in this movie, and then you have Phoebe Cates as Linda. So basically, this movie, it's a hard one to explain because there's really no cohesive plot to this movie. Basically, Cameron Crowe, who wrote the screenplay for this movie, he was a freelance writer for Rolling Stone magazine. He went undercover for a year at Claremont High School in San Diego, and he posed as a student and wrote basically about his experiences to make into a book. And that's how we got this movie, Fast Times at Ridgemont High. So basically, like I said, it follows a school year, a senior year of 6 students. So you have Stacy. She works at a pizza place in the mall that all the students go to, and she's very inexperienced about relationships and guys and all that. And then you have her coworker, Linda, who's like her older friend, and she kind of gives advice to her because she's more experienced, or she claims that she's more experienced. So while that's going on, you have Mark, or also known as Rat, that's his nickname. He likes Stacy, but he doesn't want to tell her because he's shy and everything. Now he also has an older friend who's his name's Mike, and he's another one who's claims to be so experienced with girls and all that. So basically, you have these two students that are attracted to each other, and they each have an older friend that is kind of guiding them towards different directions. So while all that's going on, you have basically subplots of the movie, I guess. You have Sean Penn, who plays Jeff Spicoli. He's the stoner hippie dude of this movie, and he plays it really good in this movie. It's kind of like one of his roles that he was known for. This was like his second movie he did, I believe, but he does a really good job playing a stoner. And basically the school year follows him and him arguing with his teacher, Mr. Hand, because he's always showing up late for work. He's always showing up late for class. He orders pizza in the middle of class, and the delivery man comes in the middle of class. It's just so funny. So basically, you got him doing his shenanigans. Then you have Brad, who's Stacy's older brother. And if you don't know who Judge Hamilton is, he played Neil in The Santa Claus, and he was also in the Seinfeld episode, The Close Talker. He's hilarious. But anyway, in this movie, he's wants to break up with his girlfriend, but he doesn't know how to go about it. And he works at all these goofy restaurants. He ends up working. He starts off working at a burger place, but then he gets fired, and then he goes to this seafood restaurant where he has to wear this pirate costume everywhere, and that's hilarious. So basically, that's his life is going on, doing stuff like that. And again, it's very similar to other movies, how the plots kind of intertwine and connect. That's basically the best way to explain this movie. It is a coming-of-age teenage film. What I do really like about it is that it handles issues such as teenage pregnancy and drugs in a very honest way, and it's very realistic of how high school students, what they go through in those particular situations. There is a character that ends up getting pregnant by another guy, and they don't know how to handle it, and they handle it the best they can, but then she finds out that the guy isn't there for her. He only used her for sex, and it's very realistic in that way. There are serious moments like that in the movie, but there are also funny moments because it is a comedy. Specifically with Sean Penn playing the stoner Jeff Spicoli. He's hilarious, and then you have Brad. He's funny, wearing the pirate outfit everywhere. And then you also have a cameo appearance by Nancy Wilson, who's one of the singers for the rock band Heart, who was also Cameron Crowe's future wife. But he's driving in the car and he looks over and he sees her and she's waving and laughing at him because he's wearing the pirate costume. And then you also have the infamous scene where Brad comes home, he goes into the bathroom and he's daydreaming about Linda, who's outside swimming in the pool. And that's where you have the infamous scene where the girl comes out of the pool and she takes her swimsuit off and she's topless. But of course he's daydreaming this, and she walks in on him, masturbating, and that's a funny scene. He's like, "Doesn't anyone ever fucking knock?" It's just funny. There's stuff like that. It's honest. It's very honest of what high school life is, particularly in the early 1980s. So if you like coming of age movies and stuff like that, 80s comedies, this would be definitely one to check out. I'm not going to say this is one of my favorite movies because it is. The plot is very kind of all over the place and it just follows different storylines through the movie. But I'm going to give Fast Times at Ridgemont High a 7.5 out of 10. It's not my favorite movie of all time, but it is one I can sit down and watch and enjoy. I've seen it twice already. I'm sure I'm going to see it more times. Another great thing about this movie is the soundtrack. It has a lot of 70s and 80s rock music in this, from the Eagles, Stevie Nicks, Sammy Hagar. Can't think of all of it right now. But a lot of big bands, a lot of great rock music. I put some of it in the beginning and at the end. Oh, Jackson Browne has a song in here. Yeah, really cool movie. It's funny, and then there's also some serious moments in there because it is part drama in a way. Like I said, the acting is pretty solid from everyone, even though all these kids are, late teens, early 20s. I think they did a pretty good job, and there's not one person in here that I felt like the acting was really bad. I think they were all pretty good, especially considering their age. Another funny thing is this is Nicolas Cage's first appearance in a movie. He doesn't say a word. He's just in the kitchen in the back, but you see him in a few shots, and I think it's hilarious. That's his first feature film he was in. So that's funny. If you watch this movie, keep a lookout for him. He's like 20, 21 years old in this movie. It's hilarious. But yeah, that's about all I have to say about Fast Times at Ridgemont High. I hope you enjoyed. Please leave a comment, and please like the video if you did like it. Please let me know what you think about it, what some of your favorite characters in this movie, and also some of your favorite songs in this movie if you're familiar with the soundtrack. So anyway, that's it for today's review, guys. Thanks for watching. See ya.